Okay, so hello and welcome back to another Unity tutorial. It's been a while since the last one, and that's been because I created my Discord bot videos about a year ago, and then after doing a few I just kind of stopped because I was meant to be a Unity channel, and I didn't think I had that many people here for the Discord bots. But then over time obviously it got really popular and I still stuck to Unity because that's why I created the channel. But then obviously it had been around a year and I wanted to get back into it and kind of revamp the series, so the last like 4 or so videos have been focused on that. But obviously I don't want to forget about the people who are here for Unity and game development, which is what I'm going to be focusing heavily on. I'll still be doing, obviously, I'll try and go even 50-50 split, probably in favour of Unity though, just because it's like the game development aspect is what I want the channel to be. But I will be, treating everyone equally, or hopefully doing so. Now with Unity and game development, obviously, yes, I'll be focusing on Unity, but I'll also be showing other engines at some point. So I'll be doing videos on the Godot engine or Godot and Unreal and so on, just like delving out there. I don't know, you know what I mean, trying the different things and showing people what there is to offer, because Unity isn't the only thing to offer, even though it's great. But everything has its advantages and disadvantages, so I'll be getting into that at some point. For this video, I'm just going to be showing what I've been working on over the last week or so. Since I submitted my game in that competition, I've been just messing around with some mobile stuff. So the whole point in this video is meant to be like a discussion about what I plan on doing, and then in response I want as many people as possible to obviously leave comments giving their suggestions of what kind of videos to cover. Obviously I've done quite a lot of videos in the FPS tutorial series, and I haven't finished it because I mean I never can finish it. It could go on forever covering different features. Obviously I've got enough videos in that series for you to start off making your own FPS, and then it's up to you to delve into what you want to do to make yours special. But rather than doing like a 30 episode series on just an FPS, I kind of want to mix it up a bit. So I want to do videos on different kinds of games. Now obviously I've said this over time, I started with a 2D roguelike, and then I didn't do that for very long because back at the time, I was a bit discouraged doing 2D stuff because I'm not good at 2D art, and I just didn't think many people wanted to watch that series. I know some people did, but I'm just kind of trying to figure out what people want to see, because I've looked at other game development YouTubers. Some people like watching game dev, like devlogs, so people working on their own projects and showing off the process, or like day in the life kind of videos, which I can't really do at the moment. I'm a bit busy, but next year I could, like after my exams in a few months. I could do that kind of video. Obviously a lot of people like watching just discussions about different game engines and showing off features. I've done a lot on like coding concepts and stuff, but and different things in Unity. I just want to know what people want to see, basically. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing and see if you have any interest in learning about that. So I want to start by thanking my patrons. Thanks to Michael, Paul Robinson, Norwegian Viking, Phil Baum, and Fate. If anyone else would like to help support me on Patreon, the link is in the description below, and I've got the YouTube join channel membership button thingy if you wish to do so, which brings me on to my next point. After my exams, or around that time in a few months, I will be doing live streams quite regularly, showing coding on my own games, and I'll also be doing live streams with Mickey. If you're in my Discord server, you'll know Mickey, doing like work on our own website and bot and everything, so you can see kind of behind the scenes what we're doing. A lot of people like seeing that kind of thing because it's very interesting. Obviously, even if you're a beginner, it's like quite nice to see the kind of stuff you get to do when you're more advanced. So anyway, my game. I've been working on a mobile game. The actual coding for mobile stuff isn't like a whole lot different. There isn't much else you have to learn, like slightly different, like setting up input, but you'll see. So for example, I'm not going to actually show you on my phone. I can't be bothered setting up the debugging mode and everything. So how it works is you got your start game button, obviously it fades to black, fades in, and I've created like a character selection screen, and I've used default UI because I don't actually have the different character things. So the whole point was I was making this as a kind of fun thing with my friends. So we have like a D&D campaign, and each of these are our different characters. So the point is you can click to preview the different characters. You get the name, description, and you get the preview model of them on a rotating thing just to make it more alive. I haven't actually modeled them, I've just given them more colors, as you can see, but it's fine. And then the whole point is player 1 is on the right side of the phone. This is the right side and the left side of the phone, so you'll put your character by pressing lock in, and it kind of grays out that button so you can't pick that character anymore. And now it says player 2 select a character, on pointing to the side of the phone where that person picks a character. So they might pick this character, you press lock in, and then it fades to black, and then it fades into the level, and player 1 controls the yellow one that they picked, and player 2 controls the purple one they picked. And I'm going to add across here ability buttons, so you would use your right thumb to do this, and the other person would use their right thumb to do this. It's obviously the right. If I was looking inwards that way, you know. And when you're done with a round, it'll go to another round, and then yeah, I'm still in like the process of making this. But I'm just going to show you a bit behind the scenes of some of the stuff I've been doing for this. And obviously, if you have any interest, like maybe, you know, how do you set up a game on mobile, or, you know, how do you do a character selection thing like that, which I've just made up off the top of my head. I haven't looked up how you do it because I tried looking that up and I didn't see any good ones. I saw a few, but most of them weren't for co-op either, so I had to kind of design my own system, but it works pretty well. So yeah, I'm just going to show you quickly how it works. Is we have a game manager. I had to use the icon because game manager by default uses, oh wait, never mind, it's the other day when I tried doing this, it set it to a cog, but anyway, that's nice. Maybe it'll change anyway. So we got the game manager, which is kind of the central hub. This starts the game, this manages stuff, but I've tried to spread the code out. I don't want to shove all the code in the script because it would get really messy. So the only thing I've got in here is basically reference to all of the levels, which are a scriptable object. So like in a level, I store the name of the level and the scene. So obviously the level name might be what pops up saying, you know, next level minigame coins or whatever. I've made a coin minigame, which I haven't actually made yet, but I've made that one of the levels. And then scene name is the string for which it loads into, because obviously scenes in Unity you have to reference by string. So that would be like scene underscore coins or whatever. Description, I'm going to get that to appear when someone goes into a level, so it'll be like, you know, collect as many coins in the time given or whatever. And then how long you have to do the level, so 60 seconds, whatever. And then we store the position and rotation for player 1 and 2, because at the moment the players both spawn in the same place per level, but maybe I'll have a different level which is on like a circular arena, and maybe one of you start at the top right and bottom left. You know what I mean? I can choose their position and rotation, and I understand rotation are in quaternions, not vectors, but you can very easily just store it as a vector. I mean, Unity displays them as vectors anyway. If you go to like a transform, the rotation's in a vector format, even though it's a quaternion. It's just how it works. So you can use quaternion.euler to convert a vector into a quaternion. But anyway, that's only if you understand what I mean by that. So yeah, that's just the level data. It's just a scriptable object. So I can, in my project, have level data. Whoops. Level data. And we've got two levels. They're actually the exact same, but I will be putting actual stuff into them. So obviously it stores the position and rotation of where they spawn. And the goals are different, but for now I've just set the time to 15 seconds so I can easily check that it goes between them. So that's the level data. Just, you know, store some data on it. And then in the main thing we store reference to the two characters, and playable character is also a scriptable object I've made. The only two I've made, scriptable, playable character and level data. So the playable character stores the character's name, so, you know, Verana or Nyx or whatever the different characters' names. A description for the character, that's just like a lore-based description, you know, like it's based on our D&D characters. Sprite, when I've got that, for now I've just set it to the UI tick. And then we've got a preview prefab and a gameplay prefab. So the point is, this is the thing I spawn in to show what the character looks like, and I'm going to reuse that at different points when, like, fading between scenes, it might show the current game score and who's got what score. So I might want to spawn them in. So this one doesn't have any code for movement or attacking, you know, just the model basically, and any animation I'll end up having. And then this has all the code for moving and attacking, so they're two separate things. Okay, and then how it works is it's null by default, because when we start we don't know who's going to play what. So I have a list of levels, so I shuffled them. I call .shuffle on the list. That's a function I've written using the I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Fisher something. Shuffle Fisher Yates, yeah, whatever. It's just a shuffle algorithm that like everyone uses, and you'll find some pseudocode for it, and you can probably even go find like a C# version somewhere. But I wrote that so that on a list, you see here what happens is the parameter is itself this. So that means you can call the function on itself, hence list, you know, .shuffle, and it shuffles it. So every time you go and play, the levels are randomized. That's just what I've done for now. So we randomize the levels and we add it to a different list, because this is the list. I put everything into this list, so all the levels I've made. And remaining levels is a list that is changed over time as I go through the levels. So every time I complete a level, I remove it from this list until we're out of levels. So the main game loop is a coroutine. Coroutines, you will know if you've watched my channel before, and if you use Unity enough. Coroutines basically do code, but they don't carry on the rest of the function until the thing before it's stopped or finished. So as you can see here, we're going, basically yield return just means wait until. So wait until we finish this. So wait until we fade it out. Once we fade it out, wait until we've got to this scene underscore character select, the character selection screen. Then wait until we faded back in. And then wait until we've selected our characters. Now notice how this coroutine isn't in here, like go to level is. This one's inside the character selection manager. So if I go to the character selection manager, this code took me a while. I can probably neaten it up. I've only finished it like yesterday. This allows us to, select our characters. So what happens is, ignoring all the variables at the top, we start off by setup character selection, which goes through every playable character and spawns them in under the preview transform, which is the thing that's rotating so you can see the characters, and it sets them all active by default, so they're all like invisible as such. And then we spawn in a button for each character, and then we set that button to the character with so that when I tap on a button, it knows which character to set active. Obviously, me quickly brushing over this, if you're quite a new person to Unity, it won't mean much to you, so I'm going to need to obviously do more videos on it if you do want to see these things. But as I said, I want to do some Unreal Engine and some Godot. I keep saying Godot. I want to call it Godot, but it's called Godot. So I will be doing videos on those if you guys want it, so obviously just leave a message below. If you also just want to see any game development videos and let me choose, then feel free to say that and I'll just make whatever I want. That just obviously loops through and sets them all active when I want to get rid of them. So how it works is we have a coroutine in here that handles the whole selection process. So we set the thing at the top to be, select a character and then pointing towards the right person. We wait until lock in. And what that means is we pause execution until the variable lock in, it's a Boolean, becomes true. So lock in true happens when I, press the lock in button in the character selection. Once it's happened, we store player 1 character as the one we're currently on. And then we invoke the on character lock-in up here, and how it works is all of the buttons wait for that. They listen to that delegate, and I've done a video on delegates, and what that means is as soon as I lock someone in, all the buttons will say, hey, was that character that was locked in me? And if it was that button, then it'll set itself inactive, which is a better design way than me in here storing reference to all the buttons and then looping through them and asking them, are you the character I just picked? If so, disable the button. So that's just a smarter design choice. And then we reset the currently selected character and locked in. We're not locked in anymore. And now the second person picks a character, and we just do the same thing, but we set it player 2 character, we invoke it, and so on. And then, once we're done, it'll go back to the main thingy. So basically, this just handles all of the selection. Once we've selected, we then need to pass in the 2 characters we've stored back into this script, because this script ultimately needs to know who the 2 characters we're playing as are, because this persists through every single scene. This game manager will be active through all scenes, whereas the level manager is only active in the level scene. It makes more sense. And then, while there are still remaining levels in that list, we go to a level, we fade to black, go to a level, fade back in, spawn the players, do the level, which in the end is literally just ignoring this. This is just the kind of the intro stuff I'm working on right now to make it so before they can move the characters or get the input, it might say like, welcome to this level, you need to do this, 3, 2, 1, go. So that's what that's going to end up doing. But yeah, all it really does is it activates the input, does the level, and then when we go back, we deactivate the input. I mean, I could do that in the other script to keep it all together if I wanted to. And then once we've done with that level, we remove the first thing in the list, and then we basically go again, and we now do the new first thing in the list. We go through all the levels, and then obviously when I've done, I need to display the winner of that round, current scores, next minigame, and so on. So there's quite a lot to it. I mean, it's a lot smaller of a project than my other game, and I can make that much neater. I can split things up a bit more into more scripts to make it easier to manage. But yeah, I hope you like that quick preview of everything. As I said, I want to do more game development videos, more varied videos. So one series I plan on doing is making like abilities from games. Because one thing I don't like about doing a series like the FPS tutorial series is that it's like a big dedication to say I'm going to make that series, because then if I don't carry on with it, a lot of people will be annoyed that I just kind of did a few videos of it. But on the other hand, loads of the things that I cover in that I could easily just do as individual videos, so that they can be applied to everything. So I would rather, if you guys like this as well, do kind of 1 to 2 video series, if you get what I mean. So like try and we'll pick a character from a game like, I don't know, League of Legends, because I play that so much, or Overwatch, or I don't know, like whatever you want, right? Just go pick a character from a game or an ability from a game that's really cool, and I'll spend a video or 2 showing you how to make that mechanic. And then obviously, as I said, when I get more time next year, then I can do live streams of creating a game in one go, or just like the FPS tutorial series, I can just make an FPS in one go, and I don't have to stop to do each individual bit, like do a 20-minute video on how to set up the UI for animation, for ammunition and so on. I think that's not the best idea. I think people will be more interested in doing individual videos that are separate rather than a long series. So just let me know what you think. Obviously, feel free to give me feedback in the comments below, better than the Discord server, because I might not see it if it's in there, because there's lots of stuff going on in there. So just reply to this video with your own ideas. I'd like to hear them. But yeah, I think that's the end of this video. So if you want to see any of this project as well, say that too, and I'll do videos on this. I want to do videos on whatever you guys want to see. So if you haven't already, leave a like and subscribe. It'd mean a lot. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and goodbye.